Finning techniques for freediving. Common finning issues, and correcting them from the start. When you first start to fin, it's almost certain that the biggest mistake you will make is having a strong backward stroke, the part where your legs and fins go back behind your body, and a non-existent forward stroke, where your legs move from in line with the rest of your body to out in front. This is because it is easier to move the fins backward and more challenging to bring them forwards. This means that you will not descend vertically, but will instead dive into and/or past the dive line, as the backward stroke will be pushing your body forwards. To correct this, it is helpful to practice your finning upright on the surface. Selecting the right fin for easy finning. At this point, I want to break from technique to talk a little about fin strength, as this has a big impact on how easy it is to master the correct technique. Put simply, the greater the stiffness of the fin, the harder it will be to move through the water because it flexes less. Consequently, when selecting your fins, you should take into account what they will primarily be used for. If you are big and strong and going for depth, then a stiffer fin may be appropriate. But if you are slighter and intending to do a lot of shallow recreational diving with lots of surface swimming, then you will need a softer fin. Using a pool to learn finning technique. Practicing your technique in the pool is a good way to identify and iron out any of the problems you might be having. It is useful to have access to a pool at least 25 meters long with a consistent depth of 2 meters. A consistent depth enables you to fix your buoyancy and then concentrate on technique without having to adjust for a deep and shallow end. When finning, keep your head tucked in and in line with your body and concentrate on a steady, even fin stroke with almost straight legs, and the fin moving an equal amount forward and back. Don't worry about your fins hitting the bottom of the pool, as this rarely happens. Your body needs to offer minimum drag through the water, so keep your upper body parallel to the bottom, regardless of whether your arms are by your sides or above your head. If you raise your head to look where you are going and/or arch your back, you are increasing your drag through the water. Avoid being a banana in the water. Whether diving straight down for depth or horizontally in the pool, if you can see where you are going, then your head is raised and your back is arched. I have drummed "tuck your head in" so much to some students that they end up tucking their head in, but then arch their entire body so that they can see where they are going, turning them from a streamlined freediver into one resembling a banana. If you are interested in diving for depth, but want to use your freediving skills for recreational diving, photography, or spearfishing, then you might question the need to tuck your head in and streamline the body. My point is always this: if you use the correct technique, then you will be able to stay under the water for longer. You will dive to exactly the depth you want, and by descending vertically with minimal resistance, you will have more time at depth to look around and have fun. Letting the fin do the work for you and common problems. Another thing to consider when diving with bifins is this: get the fins to do the work for you. Once you have made a fin stroke, let the fin blade finish the movement before re-engaging it. This will also help to ensure you have a steady stroke rate. You may experience your body rolling from side to side. There's often a slight roll naturally with your hips, but this should not be very noticeable. Just remember, you don't walk with a big hip roll. Often connected to this is a scissoring out of the legs. Freedivers often say this is because they don't want the fins to hit each other as they pass. However, this will only ever be an issue if you are pigeon-toed as you fin, with your toes pointing inwards. Try and ensure that you fin with your hips level and your legs moving on an even plane backward and forwards. You will also need to check that both legs are working with equal strength and that your fins fit snugly and comfortably. By minimizing any shift of the fins on your feet, you will maximize the transference of power through your legs, down through the blades, and into the water. Use neoprene fin socks. They keep your feet warm, preventing chafing, and can provide a nice, tight fit. Choose comfortable fins that will enable you to easily master the technique without compromising power. Keep your upper body streamlined, your legs almost completely straight, and move them equally backward and forwards with a wide amplitude. Keep your hips level and your toes in line with your leg. Imagine you are walking, and let the blade finish a stroke before you start a new one.